It is not well for the over 6.4 million power consumers in Kenya who have been treated to regular disconnection and hiked power bills. And even as Kenyans wait upon the Energy Regulation Commission and the Kenya Power to offer answers, this week on the Inside Source, we shine the spotlight firmly on the vexing subject. Pangani Estate, Nairobi. Mother and daughter are catching up after a busy day, a daily routine that has always ensured that the young family is glued together. This is Irene Mora, a customer care assistant in town. In the face of hard economic times, it has become a struggle to make ends meet. A couple of months ago, she was forced to take up a loan of 100,000 shillings. All the money went to settling electricity bills at her former house. Hers is a modest house, fit for a middle-class citizen. Taking the loan was hurtful but necessary. She, however, settled the bill, but quickly moved places.
I tried to argue, I tried to plead, I tried to explain. I said, this is not possible. I don't have power in my house. How can my bill be going up despite the fact that there's no power? No one was willing to listen. I was told, Mama, lipa hii pesa, before we can even hear what you're talking about. So I had to pay. I made a plan of how I was going to pay that money. I wrote a commitment letter. I made a down payment of 40,000, and then I paid the rest of the money in 3 installments. When I cleared, that's when I was allowed to move out of that premise.
No. I don't think that is true. We don't say pay first. I think that that one is not true. Or whoever has said that, that is incorrect. Because every customer has the right to challenge the bill. And as I said, our point of reference is the reading in the customer's premises. So once we get it, we will check in the system and see, do they correspond? And if there is a difference, we will adjust.
Mora's situation mirrors what many Kenyans have to deal with, the perils of the now infamous prepaid and usual postpaid electricity billing. In the run-up to the 2017 general election, many households and even big establishments noticed a trend of ridiculously high power bills. December was particularly suspicious.
In my house, I have just normal stuff like we iron. Of course, we iron clothes when we are going to work. I can't say I use it to shower because I removed all my instant showering appliances. So I use it to iron my clothes. I use it to do microwave stuff, maybe warming food. And I use it on my fridge, that's it. And of course, TV and radio. To date, I get goosebumps when I think of, like, I've paid Kenya Power 111,000 Kenya shillings.
Many more even today continue to register similar complaints.
Imekuwa expensive sana kutoka mwezi wa 10 hapo. Kitambo nilikuwa naweza tumia so mbili, nikiweka napewa unit inakuja 21, 20 hivyo. Lakini siku hizi nikiweka hiyo so mbili siwezi kununua. Lazima niende na so 5 ndio nimpewe hiyo unit 20 ama 30 kienda sana.
Kuanzia Disemba sema ikaanza kuchange. Ukiweka token inaenda kwa siku moja, tuseme kwa ukiweka 200 unafanya nayo siku moja na imeisha. Ukienda kununua ni kitambo ulikuwa tunapewa 19 units. Sasa hiyo ukienda unapewa 8.9 peke yake. Hizo zingine 10 sijui zinapotelea huko.
Kenya Power's annual report and financial statement for the year ended 30th June 2017 shows recoverable fuel costs shot up from 0.8 billion in 2016 to 10.1 billion in 2017. And this is the burden that has now been passed on to consumers in the way of billing. Confessions made by the drafters of the same report. But why the abnormal surge, and why in 2017?
That figure is high because it's the double effect of the hydrology, that we didn't have good rains in April, May, and we also didn't have good rains in August, September. We have had challenges in the past, but it has not been as severe as this time round. That's how that figure became so large. Yes.
Inside Source has since learned that although a court order dated 12 January 2018 was obtained to stop this, the Energy Regulation Commission still went ahead to gazette the consumer billing through a gazette notice dated 2nd February, essentially backdating bills going as far as December 2017.
I remember sitting in an office with a gentleman who was quite rude, I must admit. He actually told me even people in the rural areas don't live with power, so why am I bothering them? If I can't pay power bills, I should stay in the dark.
But it is not until public uproar heightened that Kenya Power for the first time came out of the woods to speak out. 10th of January 2018, Kenya Power Managing Director Ken Tarus made a strong admission of the errors in billing, but in a rather shocking account, he blamed this on a computer-generated error. Tarus wrote to the Director General Competition Authority of Kenya, and I quote, "In November 2017, we migrated to a new integrated customer management system. We have realized that there have been errors in the conversion to the new system and that some bills which have been sent out reflect an amount due in excess of what should have been charged." End quote.
Migrating the data for about 6 million, like that now I have about 6,566,240. So when you're migrating the data, there could be a few meters, a few customers' data which could be affected. So, but the impact on that was very, very small. Only I think about out of the two. Okay, we know you have 6,556,000 customers. Out of that, about 4.3 are prepaid. Those who are not affected by the billing system because we are not changing the prepaid system. We are only changing the postpaid system.
After admission, it should have gone further than to explain how people who had been overbilled or overcharged are going to either recover their money or they are going to ensure that the money that they had paid in excess is carried forward and be deemed as payment in advance for the power yet to be supplied.
I can't say that we have been overcharging customers because we have not changed the way we do our business. The only thing we did was to change the billing system so that we are able to improve our processes and even serve our customers better. So that's the only thing that has changed.
For the cases which were noted, especially in December, I think the company communicated to the public that for anybody who has a bill other than what is normal, they were invited to come to our offices, and majority of them we were able to find solutions.
Even with the admission by the MD, thousands of Kenyans had already lost millions through the said computer-generated error. State agencies have remained mum on whether Kenyans will recover their money.
If indeed they've realized they are the ones who are on the wrong with this issue, can I get some sort of refund? Because this is too much and it's unfair. I spent money, I paid a loan, I paid interest on a loan, and it wasn't for my benefit. I was paying for something that was not my fault. It was not a defect from my own doing.
Energy Cabinet Secretary Charles Keter has spoken on the subject, but failed to address the specific concerns.
PLC or ERC or the ministry has no mandate whatsoever to do any tariff increment. The process is the uptake, which is the KPLC or any other, be it pipeline, be it any other company, will apply to ERC, stating why they need a tariff increment. ERC then will have it in the media, in the print media. They will have it gazetted for the public to give views whether they are okay or not.
It's a very simple thing. Go read the customer's meter, compare with the last reading, come up with the difference, then calculate, depend on the tariff that has been brought by ERC. That is what we do.
And amidst this looming storm, one man has fast become the face of the struggle. Former Law Society of Kenya CEO Apollo Mboya. He runs a law firm from this small office along Ngong Road. When his own power bills exceeded his ordinary average consumption, he couldn't take it lying down. He took the bull by its horns, moving to court to sue Kenya Power, even launching an online campaign on Twitter dubbed Switch Off KPLC, where thousands have forwarded feedback on the impasse.
I got about 670 emails, people complaining, and I have to thank the public because several of them did actually forward their bills, and we analyzed those bills. And indeed, we found that there was a spike of the billing starting from November and December.
Kenya's electricity supply structure is of single buyer model, with all generators selling in bulk to Kenya Power. The existence of Kenya Power as a monopoly is blamed on what many consider as a skewed state of affairs and what blatantly contravenes the Kenyan law. The fourth schedule, paragraph 8E of the Constitution, offers that electricity and energy regulation is a county function and not the national government's.
If I had another company providing the same service, I would try them out, but who else is providing power that I know of? So I believe they do all this because where else will you go?
The Energy Act 2006 Section 6.1 empowers ERC to set, review and adjust electric power tariff structures. This has given leeway to Kenya Power to shift blame on the Commission. One man who can shed light on what's going on is ERC's Director General, Engineer Robert Pavel Oimeke. KTN News made an attempt to reach him at his office, but through his communication officers, indicated that he was on other office matters. ERC has in the past defended the tariff formula as one firmly grounded in the law.
You need to realize that Kenya Power is sitting at the tail end of the whole chain, the value chain for generation of electricity. So all the generators, as they buy fuel, which is again paid for in Forex, in foreign exchange, they will also bill us in foreign exchange, and therefore we are the collectors at this end. And you can imagine the prices of fuel within again 2017 they actually moved up, and because of that, you know, and we generated more units using fuel, the thermal units, and therefore you end up having a very high levels of both forex and the fuel itself.
January 25, 2018, Auditor General Edward Ouko saw an affidavit indicating his zeal to investigate the claims against the power company. Mr. Ouko declined to speak on camera, but we have learned that he is yet to begin his audit despite the massive public interest around the matter. And there is even more cause for worry. Treasury's budget policy statement released on the 19th of January 2018 points to another bleak future. The Kenyan government is said to spend over 2 trillion shillings for over 20 private power companies, some operational and some even yet to be commissioned, in a period spanning 25 years. The cost reportedly also to be passed on to consumers through Kenya Power.
Members of the public and consumers are paying through the billing system amounts that are then forwarded to these private companies to either build or continue expanding, because some of them have just used consumers' money to pay. Now, the interesting part of this is that if the money that has been forwarded to them to help make them set up those companies, it is the government that should own those companies, because they are assets that have been purchased by the money that has been received through the taxing system.
Kenyans are fast losing hope.
I have friends, I have co-workers who, when we discuss about life issues, they talk of their power bills. I have relatives who've complained about Kenya Power. So it's like the way when you talk about cancer, you know somebody who knows somebody. If you yourself, you're not a victim or you're a family member. So for me, Kenya Power is like cancer.
As many Kenyans endeavor to soar their lives through the harsh economic times, the Kenya Power realities do not appear to relent either. Still no light at the end of the tunnel and no answers in sight. Francis Ontomwa, KTN News, the inside source.